whilst we anticipate that you are enjoying an exciting lineup with Mom and Jess Talk Show, we ask you to please like, engage, and of course subscribe.
Hi, welcome back to Mom and Jess Moment Talk Show, another exciting episode in the career management series. So today we are treating a topic we refer to as finding fulfillment in your career choice. Before we start, please make sure you hit that subscription button and please sit back and catch up with our guest for today. This will be an interesting, exciting, insightful episode, and you will have something to go home with. So sit back and sir, please can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
All right, my name is Dr Olausi.
Okay, nice having you, Mom and Jess, once
Welcome,
again. And I understand that we are very good in this area, and we're going to do justice to the topic. So let's hit the show. We're discussing on finding fulfillment in career choice. So let's start with knowing the importance of finding fulfillment in your choice of career.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
When it comes to fulfillment in career, it's something that is very important to human life. Because when you look at it, you spend a lot of time doing your job. So how will you be going to a place of work that you don't like every day? The person may not live long.
True.
Or the person may live a troubled life. So
Right.
it's quite important for us to get it right.
Okay, it's quite important to get it right, viewers, and get it right in time. Because I understand that so many are actually stuck in careers probably they're not enjoying, or jobs they're not enjoying, because they feel like there was no choice for them, especially with this pandemic we're faced with. So many people are not giving opportunities, or various opportunities to delve into. So let's look at that aspect of when you don't have, or you have limited choices of job opportunities, which is outside the scope of what you find fulfillment in doing. How should someone handle such a situation?
All right. Well, like if I will look at it from a Christian perspective, I'm taking a cue from scriptures now.
Right.
The Bible says, "Whatsoever your hand find doing, you should do with all your mind, all your might." Right. Sometimes you know what you want to do, but it's not yet available.
It's not available.
So then, but you are not permitted to be idle. So
the scripture doesn't.
yes. So whatever your hand finds to do that is legal, in the meantime,
You
do
can
it
go for
with all your might. So while you are expecting the right thing for you, they are available for the moment. Do it well. We have seen situations whereby somebody, maybe is a graduate and he couldn't get a job, he will go for something lesser or lower. And as he's doing it, he's still making plans towards what actually he wants,
He's aiming for.
and eventually they will get it.
Okay. Wow, that's insightful. But in a situation where you find something fulfilling, but it's not working at that time for you.
If you can explain all
Like,
this.
okay, you already know what gives you fulfillment or what gives you joy, but there's no availability of job opportunities. What advice will you have for such a person at that time, at that point in time?
Well, it's still related to what I said the other time.
Okay.
While you are on the lookout for what gives you fulfillment, now there are other things you can be doing in the meantime that can get engaged before you get what you want. And sometimes the mistake some people make is this: because you know where you are or what you are doing now, you don't like it, so you do it anyhow. And that will work against the person. What I found out in life is this: because how you do things, it talks about your personality, it talks about you, who you are. So now if somebody says, okay, let's say for example, maybe you are trained as an accountant and you can't get a job as an accountant, and that's what you want to do, you love, but you can't get it. Now you get a job, maybe to assist somebody who is selling in a shop, and you're just helping the person, like a sales boy or girl for the person. Now you feel because you're angry about it, you're not doing it well. Now, what you are telling that person is that you are not somebody who is given to excellence. You are defining who you are to that person. And whether you know it or not, the way life works is very funny. That person may be the one that's supposed to connect you to somebody else.
Refer you.
Yes. Or somebody may be watching you from afar, from in that place where you are working, and say, oh, this person, the way he's working is not good. Who can help you? But you have already shut yourself out.
Shortlisted yourself.
So that's why it's always very good. Whatever you are doing, whether the one that you like or not, you must put the best of your energy there.
Wow.
So that God can help you later.
I wanted to say that God will always reward a diligent person in whatever you do. So I think that is also important. Thank you, sir, for that. So let's look at the aspect of probably encouraging people that are yet to decide or still making decisions regards to their choice of career. What advice do you have for them?
The advice I have for people who are still at the verge of deciding what to do. Early in life, the first thing is that one needs to acquire knowledge. The first knowledge is knowledge about yourself. Who are you? What can you do? That's one. Then number two, we also need to have knowledge about our environment. What are the different careers that are available? Right. What is the nature of each job? Then you can now match it with your own ability, the knowledge you have discovered about yourself. That's a great way of determining the career you're supposed to fit into.
Okay.
Because I will talk about my personal experience, because I have a personal experience on this one.
Okay, please share.
My parents, they are into the educational industry.
Okay.
Right? My dad and my mom, they retired both as a principal and vice president, respectively, right? So now, when we're growing up, when we're talking, they have their own mindset. Okay, my children is going to be a medical doctor, right? They have that on their mind. And when we are talking, they trying to encourage me when I was still very small, even when I was still from even my primary or nursery school. So that came into my subconscious, and I also love it. Now, and eventually I went to, when I was going to secondary school, I went to strictly science school. In fact, it was as bad as I didn't even do economics. Wow. Everything was just pure science. So because the mindset I was setting for that one. Now, but something changed. When I was in SS2, we're about going to SS3 too. And that time when my dad is going to, when you get to that stage, he will get the WAEC for you, the SSC, and also you also get the form for the GC, the private one, the November-December one. So you get those two, then you are also going to write for the admission to the university and also into the polytechnic. So you will enroll for those four. Now, but the only thing we tell you is that, okay, you can't go in SS2 even if you pass. We want you to be emotionally stable before you go. So you finish your secondary school. So we have already put in the form and I wrote on it. I wanted to go for medicine. But somebody came to our school, then they came to do some career talk. When we were in SS2. So they were talking about job fulfillment. I was listening to this and I said, this thing was important. Now I went back home. My dad has his own shelf where he has his books. There was one of his books, he didn't know. There was one of his books I read. That book was written by some British. Then I've never seen a book that is as complete as that on career. It's written career for boys, career for Nigerian boys and girls. Wow. In that book, they did a good job. They listed all the universities that we had then, those first generation universities, and what the courses that they have. Then they now took time to talk about different careers. What it entails. What's the nature of that job in terms of your trade, character, what you're supposed to. They wrote everything there. So from there I found out that, okay, I don't like this medicine. It's boring for me. I think I fit into more of engineering. So that was when I changed my mind. I wasn't doing. Wow. So I told my dad, he was angry with me. We've had that battle running for a long time. So I refused. I said, I'm not going to medicine. So because I already took JAMB, I was now the first JAMB I did was what I used to enter the university. So I entered Obafemi University at that time for microbiology, because the person that was And that's why I said the place of information. There was a person that he engaged for me, and that person was now advising us, say, okay, I shouldn't feel jump, I shouldn't feel medicine for my first choice. I should feel microbiology. That they do the same thing in first degree, in first year.
Okay.
So after that, and it will be easy for me to enter for microbiology, and I will not change in part 2.
Right.
That was why I chose microbiology.
Right.
So when I got there, I told him, I said, I'm not changing again, I'm not going for
You
medicine.
liked it.
He was angry with me. I said, I told you I want it. So that was so
I know
in
that's
place of
causing a lot
information.
of,
So you need to know yourself.
Mm.
And to today, I've never regretted not taking that step.
Wow.
Because if I'd gone for it, I'll be frustrated. I don't like routine. I don't like working in one place. I like I like changes. I like moving around, engaging my mind. I don't like. So it's not that maybe medicine is not good, but I don't like it.
It doesn't fit your kind
Yes,
of person.
my kind of person. I'm not like that.
Which
I
is
like
very
outdoors, so I
important.
like moving things, and I like exploring. So it's not somebody wants to do medicine. You have to be calm. You have to have patience for people and those kind of things. I don't have such.
It reminds me of myself as well. You know, I think most parents just wish to see their children at least have a child that ends up being a medical doctor. It was the same case with me, but at the end of the day, I also discovered that my dad, in fact, bought the medicine textbooks and all of that, and I finally diverted when he knew he broke his heart. So yeah, let's just look at how we can also advise those people that are stuck in their jobs, probably advanced in their career, and they're not, happy. They feel stuck. What advice do you have for them?
When it comes to people who are stuck in a particular career, the first thing is this: what they are doing for now, they may not like it, but there is a blessing in doing your best in what you are doing now.
Just as you said.
Yeah, it may be what we announce it tomorrow. That's one, and at the same time, it will help the sanity of their own mind, because if you don't like what you are doing now, you are acting every day, you are making yourself feel like that. It can tell on your health. So that's one. Then number 2, if truly you are convinced that you are not in the right field, and you still find out that your passion for that field is actually dying, so that means you may need to make a change at some point in time.
True.
Because there are people that have started their career at a very maybe advanced age, and they still make some impact in it, because fulfillment is something that it can haunt you forever.
True. As long as you live.
Yes.
As long as you live.
So slowly, they just need to plan towards it. Slowly, you have to plan towards how to make it. And it depends on the career you want also.
Okay.
Like for example now, let's take somebody who realized that he's supposed to be a footballer. And you are in another career, and maybe you are already maybe 25. I don't think you can go into football again. Because if you don't, there are certain careers that if you don't enter when you are young, it's too late. There's nothing you can do. So if you find yourself in a place that it's too advanced, the truth is this: if you look inward, it's not only one thing that you are good at or you like. There will be something, there will be priority, something that you can still do. So you look for the lesser one that at least you can still enjoy, and it's still something you can do now. Then you can gradually move into it.
That's interesting. We've actually got people that probably were in a particular career. Like I would say, my mom, she was a teacher for a long time, and at the age of 60, she started her PhD, 58, 60. So finishing her PhD by 60 years was a fulfillment to her. So I think those kind of things also could work. You can divert from that area. Yeah. So that's interesting. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Well, in situations where people want to discover their purpose, some people, as life proceeds, probably you have a calling to attend to, or you discover your purpose and you feel like you need to address it, just as the Lord is leading you. What advice do you have for such people in terms of their career? Probably if it's, how could they link that to whatever career they find themselves in?
It means people are...
Probably you discover the calling along, along the line in your life's journey. I just share with us what you feel. Like for instance, now you discover that probably you have a calling to become a minister or a pastor. How should one, You find those, because at any point in time you might feel called to, do certain things like that. How do you inculcate it into your career and all that?
Well, to me, every field of career is a calling. We have everybody, all of us, we have callings.
Yeah.
There are people who can have calling to be maybe a minister of the gospel. The same way you can have somebody who has a calling to be a lawyer or to be a teacher.
Okay.
And that's where they will excel. So that's this, but there's always misconception about this. God is calling me. It's only spiritual. No, that's not the only thing. It's a wrong perspective. Okay. There are people who are called to be politicians.
No, but I mean, I think I didn't put my question right. I think where I'm heading to is there are people that discover their calling later in life, and probably it's not something that they were into with regards to their career.
Yeah.
That's where I'm coming from. So what advice do you have for them? Imagine it. I've heard of people that, they were led to do something, probably organize, minister to youth and all of that, and they were doing something different. Yeah.
From what you asked, if I understand, you see, I understand the question you asked.
Okay.
Understand? But I'm just trying to clarify, because we're talking to a general audience.
Okay.
We need to clarify things. Now, but I think you are tending towards maybe pupil ministry or maybe some others. Like
probably.
All right. If that's the case, whatever you are called to do, and you now later found out, okay, this is what I've been called to do, and maybe you are in something else. If it is maybe called to ministry in terms of pulpit ministry or maybe gospel now, that one is easier. To me, it's easier to change, because what I'm not saying that it's easy. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is this: it's somebody that is calling you to come and do something. It's God that is calling you. It's not you are calling yourself, and you are sure. So, but the most important thing is this: if it is you are being called as a minister of the gospel, then it's not something you assume. The first thing is that don't assume. Ask and be sure that you are called. And when you are called, get the details. God will always tell you if he's the one that's leading you there.
He gives clarity.
God doesn't talk in ambiguity. He will tell you. So now, where is it? How does he want you to do it? And when does he want you to do it? And how? He will tell you all those things. He will tell you the place, he will tell you the time, he will tell you the means. But most people, when they have half information, they run with it. That's dangerous. So now, for example, somebody, maybe you find yourself, you are lecturing now, or you are working as an engineer, and you now suddenly, all of a sudden, God told you that, okay, I want to use in certain area of calling, in pulpit ministry. Then you need to ask God, you need more time to ask God to tell you the specifics. Okay. So then you will know whether he's telling you to do it full time or part time. Okay. I know of a very successful pastor back home. The man is a consultant, and he's also a professor of medicine in Obafemi University. He has one of the biggest church in Ife. Wow. And he's doing it. He's a pastor over that church, right? And he's still in academics. There are a lot of people like that. So you need to get it right. What does God want? If he tells you, okay, it's full time, then you don't hesitate. And if you are sure and he has told you, then next thing you resign from where you are going to and you follow him.
And I believe his grace will be sufficient.
Yes.
Yeah, for
so that one is there.
Okay.
But if he's telling you, okay, part time, then you can apply your time. You start from there. And one thing is this: if it's ministry as the ministry of gospel, then you just have to start small from somewhere and trust God who has called you
to lead you every step.
And it's a very simple thing. And when you follow him like that, faithfully, with faith, step by step, don't run before God.
You can say that again.
That's the problem that most people find.
They
just want to go up, and they've forgotten that they were called. They didn't call themselves. So you don't determine how far you will go or the speed you will go. It's the person that is calling you that will tell you
those ones. Direct you.
So that's most important. That's why that was the aspect that made me to say, okay, I think it's easier when it comes to God calling you. I'm not saying it's a cheap thing. It's a big task.
Because direction and clarity, if you seek from him.
Yes.
But I still believe there are points in times you might still, not get it clear. and you might struggle to try to understand, but seeking the direction of the Holy Spirit might not come soon, and taking the steps, as you said, I think goes a very, very long way. Yeah, thank you so much for that. Do you have any general take home for our viewers, please, with regards to our discussion?
Well, the general view I have, I think I'll focus more on the upcoming generation now. It's easier to get the children coming up when they are still young.
True.
To direct them. We need to put more effort in that one.
Right.
Parents should not choose for their children, because one thing is this, like fulfillment we mentioned, what I found out is that thing does not die. It lives on and it will be there. So and it's one of the worst things that can happen to a person, not using your potentials. So what parents should do is this: educate your children.
Right.
When I say educate, I'm not only talking about the formal sector now, going to school. It's important. Then also other ways to expose the child and also the parent themselves to have a good understanding about what obtains in the environment. There are some parents, they want to guide their child, but they don't have a complete understanding of a substantial knowledge about the trend of things now. You can't guide that child properly. Many people don't know, okay, there are some careers that looks like they are obscure, they are nothing. But I can tell you, it's very important and people make a lot of noise from it. For example, let me take for example now, back home when we were growing up, when somebody tells you that he went to the university and what the admission they gave to him is maybe mathematics or maybe chemistry, people will be laughing at you, or history. They will say, what? But it's a lie. I have friends, but today I can tell you, a course like mathematics, there's no day you will not have a job.
Because they need them.
You need it. But the most important thing is this: whatever field you are choosing, that make sure that it's something that aligns with your interest.
True.
That's one. Then number two, then do it on time.
Do it on time.
On time, it's very important. So it helps a lot. So if you can get it right on time, whether you are doing, then no matter what the course is, you're doing it on time and you put in your best.
Diligently.
Put in your best. Definitely you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for that. I think Jess has to watch this. Jess was someone we're also looking up. Jess is my daughter, 13 years. We're looking up to seeing her being a medical doctor, and then one day she woke up and said she wants to study right?
Wow, architecture.
She's so good with details, house planning, and all.
If I were you, I would nurture that in her forever.
I'm still dealing with that right now.
No, see, if I can't say I'm biased. If somebody tells you, okay, this architecture, this medicine, you see, people may look at it and maybe medicine is more prestigious to it or something like that, but it's not true.
Well, we're looking at the way we're seeing things here in South Africa, where we are. That basically the medicine is a profession that is a hot cake. And all that.
Remember what I said. What I said now. I think we are finished our program.
No, we're still running. Program.
Okay, you see, when it comes to that, architecture is a scarce skill. Anyway, if you check UK, check in Canada, even in South Africa, it's a scarce skill. It's not everybody. It's not like somebody, and you won't run out of job. You can work for yourself.
Let's take that.
Okay, our last one, she's an architect.
Okay. Actually, used to see it as a men's job, so I think that's another reason.
She's a girl. She's a military. I can't say girl now because she's a girl. She's a big girl. So that's her job. There was a company she managed, that everybody, she's the one managing everything. It doesn't mean anything. It depends on how good you are. The most important thing is that if she has interest in it.
She does.
There's no career that is no good. Whether medicine, whether you are doing storytelling, whatever you are doing, there's no career that is no good. That's what I've realized. I remember when we were in school, some lecturers, they do tell us that we think these people, they are just deceiving us. They are just trying to make us feel good. That careers are different. People attach that interest to it, but it's not so. We have storytellers who are much more better off than the rest of medicine. Some person of medicine.
True.
It all depends on the innovation, the
Creativity
strength,
and
creativity
all
you
of that.
put into your job.
True.
And they are excellent. We have excellent doctors around. There's no career you can point to. You won't find somebody who's doing well there. It depends on the individual. The problem we have is that many people find themselves in career they are not designed for.
And force themselves into
Yes,
it.
that is why it looks like some careers are not good, some careers are good. Okay, I have a friend, a close friend of mine, my wife knows him. He's an historian. He's a lecturer back home. He made me to like, I found out that, though I'm a scientist, but I found out that I love history. When I was growing up, I didn't like it. I just found as a boring course some of these people that, because the orientation they give to us are people who are doing their dollars. That's what they told us, but it's not true. I later find out that I love it. I read it, I take my time to study history on my own, just to learn and things like that. But this guy, he talks to me with, I found out that it's a very important, you know that in history, there is what they call archaeological history. It's history, but it's part of it. You still apply science in it.
In some sort of
Yeah, like for example, you can watch documentary where they are talking about they have already discovered that okay, the pyramids in Egypt, they find the mummies of some old kings and things like that. Those are they are historians,
and it goes a long way.
and it has a link with science.
That's true.
They carry out some analysis and things like that, and some lab analysis to do. They are doing well. So there's no career that is not good. It depends on. That's why I said people should get understanding, have a good understanding of career, what is obtainable, trends of things. Then that's when you can advise a child properly. Most times we are limited in our knowledge and we try to advise a child based on that or push a child towards that. It's wrong.
You should also allow the child discover
Yes,
himself.
and but the most important thing is that as a parent, watch the child. Know her strength or his strength.
That's true.
Know her interest, because what is important is your strength, your interest. Those two things are very important. Your strength and your interest. You can find a child that is good in almost everything in school, but that doesn't mean that you should do everything.
Must find out.
Then you now look at interest also. Then you match that together.
Most of the
That's very important.
Most of the time doing.
Yeah, so it's very important we pay attention to it, because if you want a child to excel in life, the child must stay in his own area of strength. Like for example, now you take a fish, you put it on the ground, or you throw a fish up in the air, it will just fall down. In fact, it may die. You think this thing is useless. But take a small fish, a small bird, throw the bird upstairs, it will fly away. It's his area.
That's his area.
Then not that fish that looks like a fool when you are throwing it up, throw it in the water.
Sweet.
You see, throw a bird inside the water. That is how we are. We are different.
Simple as that.
So there's something you should be doing that you do easily, not something you
wake
stressing
up
yourself.
excited.
Don't stress
just
yourself.
to tell you, I wake up excited doing this, cutting papers and all of those things.
You see, here in South Africa, there's another friend of mine who has a younger brother who's a lawyer. You see, if you know what this guy has achieved as a lawyer, you'll be surprised. He studied at home, he did his first degree, came here to do his master's. But telling that he has been to UN based on that. So it's not about you do medicine, you do law, you do engineering. It's about doing what you know, what you love doing, and you have capacity for, and you do it on time. I will stress that again. It's very important.
Do it on time. Wow, this is an explosive discussion. Viewers, if you're watching, there's so much our guest has shared with us, and I do believe we should pay attention to major captions, do things on time, discover your interest. What is your interest?
And your potential.
And your potentials. Very important in fulfilling career. Well, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome,
thank
it's
you
my
for
pleasure.
The explosive contributions. I believe viewers, you're blessed. Please drop your take homes and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. If you're just joining us for the first time. Until then, I'll see you next time.